Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all. It would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it.
Welcome back to another episode of Slightly Offensive. This is the final era here on Riff TV. We are live in our studio in Dallas, Texas. We moved here because the world's turning to shit. And what better way to prepare for the future than to move where people literally play with that kind of stuff and piss. We're talking about the Indian Mecca of Frisco. Let's get a couple air horns there for a second. Let's go. Hell yeah. We got a great show for you guys today. This is a brand new studio, brand new situation. And yes, we are incorporating all of the last elements from Slightly Offensive, all the way from Blaze TV, from LA, back into Censored and the Gateway Pundit, to Independent News. And joining me in the studio, we were trying to make sure we didn't have all white people on the set. Hermes bailed the Slav monkey. So we joined ourselves today with somebody. He cut my grass. I'm not even joking. His wife made me dinner, and today he has a story for you.
Need it for legal fees.
Blue Jackson, arrested for being a groyper. He'll talk about that later. Welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
Thank you, Elijah, and congratulations on the studio. Riff TV forever. I am Blue Jackson. You can find me on x.com/basedwealth. And I am in the fight with our king, Elijah Schaefer, against Palm Beach County. And we're going to be covering a lot of that on the show tonight. What's been going on there, the corruption, and
you just got out of jail, right?
Yeah, I just got out of jail. Was put in jail, first person essentially put in jail. And you could say
the only time I haven't been happy that a minority is put in prison. Honestly, it's the first time. It's the first time, but
I'm the first one that didn't rob or kill anybody to get in there. I actually did not do anything.
Correct.
At least nothing more than you did.
Correct.
I'm just a sexual patriot.
So like a brown guy got out of jail. You can switch to me, by the way, for a second. I was like, a brown guy got out of jail, and they were like, I was like, this isn't good. We need to get the numbers up. And then I found out it was because of some absolute bogus nonsense, absolutely inappropriate of what they did to you. It's despicable, guys. We will be talking later in the show before I introduce my next guest about a lot of things. I'll introduce the topics. Plus, we'll give some updates on the some of the legal stuff. We're not talking a lot about my personal life on the show, but some cool wins, some good stuff happening. We did find an FBI informant following me around CPAC. We got him kicked out of the parties. He is a liar. We caught you. You're not that smart. Anyways, as we always say, white powder. But that's true. Guys, it's true. Sodium bicarbonate, it gets the smell out of your rugs when you got a dog. Anyways, joining me today is Riff TV host and contributor. He'll be hosting, you'll be seeing him here a lot more, actually, all the way up from Waco, Texas. He is a native here to Dallas, been enjoying the Indian increase. He's been a big purveyor of the new Hyperbad vegetarian restaurant 100%. Where you eat with your hands, no forks included. Nikki Rudd, welcome back to the show.
Happy to be here, you guys. My name's Nikki Rudd. Very excited to be here on Riff TV for the first time, live and in the brand new studio. Shout out Elijah Schaefer. Studio's beautiful. I'm also known as Ben Shapiro's worst nightmare. You can find me on X at Nikki Rudd X, or on Instagram if you just look up my name, Nikki Rudd. I'm happy to be here, thrilled to be next to two patriots who are currently fighting lawfare against them for their political beliefs. Thankfully, I have not been thrown in jail yet. I'm sure it's coming on the way.
Fighting the Matrix.
It will. Actually, just to clarify one thing real quickly, for the very first time, you can switch to me here whenever we're speaking. We got a new producer with me in a second, but basically the first time Nikki, he challenged Ben Shapiro on the stage. Now, Ben Shapiro, though his bed is made of cash, you will find out, unlike the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, he doesn't know about those boots that make you taller. So he's a man of small stature. You know, that's not the size of the man; it's how you use it. And he's used his stature for manipulation, deception, fraud, and also to serve a foreign country. Not that it matters. I digress. However, they tried to get us arrested. They actually got us detained at Turning Point Conference AmFest in 2025 together. You might have heard a lot of things about my role at CPAC and AmFest. One of those roles is also getting detained and getting people detained. Turns out it was him. Ben Shapiro called him a white nationalist, as if that's a bad thing. Anyways,
but he called me that because I asked him a simple question. I asked him about the USS Liberty, and if you ask a question about American patriot soldiers dying in the Middle East at the hands of the Israeli state, they will call you a Nazi, white nationalist, extremist, and try to get you detained and thrown out of an event that you're there as a student of the organization that is hosting the event. That's how they play. That's the games that they operate in. But we always double down. Number one lesson I've learned in the past 3 months: always double down, never apologize. So we're going hard, and we're not going to make an apology for that. We don't want your acceptance. We're not asking for your permission.
Yeah, guys, by the way, so introducing the topics, this is a pilot episode. We're just testing out the studio, seeing how it works. We'll have the actual show with all the segments starting very, very shortly. But joining me today, we're going to be talking about Trump's speech tonight, plus the speech by Keir Starmer, and as well as the speech by Albanese in Australia. There's a coordinated trifecta, unholy trinity, telling us all that if we don't end the war, we're kind of screwed. Are we going to end the war? Well, Trump gave a speech. Plus, we put a rocket into space. And they're still using CGI to show us what it looks like in space. That's kind of interesting. On top of that, we're in an economic crisis. It's not good. Kristi Noem's husband likes big titties. So do I. Nothing wrong with that.
Sexual patriot.
Sexual patriot. But unfortunately, he likes them on himself, which is not exactly my forte. Additionally, we have an Indian invasion going on in the United States. And to learn this all, I actually just threw him on the scene. But today, if anything goes wrong, we're going to blame Brian and his glory hole. Joining me today is the new producer here on Slightly Offensive on Rift TV. Guys, you're going to see huge expansions. Georgie, we're just calling him.
Let's go.
Also,
What's up, everybody? I'm Georgie. It's good to be here. I'll be here every day. You'll get used to me. So I won't hold this up.
All right, so let's talk about this. By the way, guys, if you want to join us before we get to the first topic, join us at Locals at ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. It's the best way to join this. I think we might have a button. I don't know if it works today, but maybe it does.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Boom.
ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. Join us today. A lot of people are asking, what is up with the hair? What is going on? This is actually how I started the show. My very first episode 1, 2018, was with bleach blonde hair in California. And we'll talk about it later on a Locals only segment for a little bit there about some court cases. I got 1 hour of sleep last night. I was up doing litigation. Guys, if you guys don't know, I've been on a lot of litigation, 3 different criminal and 3 different civil lawsuits. Pretty wild stuff there, including theft of my gun, theft of my car, going through a divorce, going through an FBI proxy investigation, going through defamation. It's pretty crazy. It's all lawfare meant to disrupt and bankrupt me. Well, we had our first trial today, our first hearing. And my lawyers told me before we went in, here's our best case scenario. If we want to win this, here's what we need. And we got better than what we tried to win.
Let's go.
296-page litigation cost $27,000 to write up, and it's very expensive. But luckily for us, we are sponsored by Dixie Cup. Small cups. It's not the size of the cup. It just matters how much experience the girl has when she sees you holding it. If she has smaller hands, the cup is bigger than you thought. And
This is very true.
it packs a punch. Because think about this. If it was water not hydrating you, now if this was pure DMT, you'd be dead. Exactly. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's jump into the clip for today. So Trump had addressed the country today. It was rather lackluster. I don't know if you guys probably didn't see it because we were getting the studio ready. It's pretty crazy stuff here. You can take the watermark off for this one as well. But one of the crazy parts is he started out talking about the war in Iran. Okay, he says we're going to end it in 2 to 3 weeks. One of Peter Thiel's very close confidants told me 2 weeks we're done. Gas is back down to $60 a barrel. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. You know, it's very possible that happens. This is the first time, I think, in political history where I actually just don't know what's going on. And I'm not trying to tell people what's going on. I'm just trying to help people sort the bullshit from the facts.
Always bet the under on this administration.
Yeah, they're very disappointing. Here's what he said. Let's hear this again, and then we're going to talk about some crazy statements, including saying if you didn't have me, you wouldn't have Israel. It's a crazy statement he said. Listen to this.
Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We are going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it.
All right, by the way, in the chat, I was doing blonde before the gays started doing it. We are gay maxing. We are retard maxing. We are having a good time. No, but basically what happened was,
So true.
So kind of what Trump said. You know, Trump sort of took this approach in his speech, and I'm going to say this real fast. Let me just calm the room down here for a second. Everybody calm down around the room, okay? Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down, okay? You in the back, calm down, okay?
Low cortisol.
Relax.
Relax. Listen, Trump is doing something that I think is kind of extraordinary here, where he's sort of leaning into the hate. He's leaning into the animosity, into the lack of support. We're like, hey man, you're supporting Israel, and we're I think we're past the left is like, fuck Israel, and we're like, why are Israelis fucking prisoners? Like that's kind of my question, right? I'm not like a low IQ, just like fuck them, pro-Palestinian. I'm like, what if we dropped a tactical nuke on the whole area in World of Warcraft or something, you know?
Right, in Minecraft.
Minecraft, something. And GTA 6.
Yeah.
No violence. We love the Jews.
We love the Jews.
We love the Jews. Actually, my ex-wife is represented by a ton of Jews, actually, so we love those
We're all
guys.
Jewish, actually.
We're all Jewish. I got a lot of Jews after me right now in the legal team, so we love those guys. Mr. Lebrowski, I was not surprised to see your last name in court today. I was like, oh, okay. I see what we're up against.
That's how you know it's serious.
I hired a Valentine and a Moisier. You hired a Lebrowski, of course. Anyways, moving along. I want to say this, like kind of like leaning into this. This show's meant to be funny. You know, it's going to pick up. We're going to go long over the years. We're going to regrow it from the ground up. This is the first episode or pilot, I guess, to test the studio. But I guess Trump is still being Trump in the fact that he's fight, attack, never apologize. And he's just like, look, I put my line out for Israel and I'm going to die for Israel. I don't support that he's dying for Israel, but I give the guy a little bit of a nigga, fist bump because in the end, he's actually sticking true. He's like, he's not folding. I can always support, even Xavier from PragerU is like Trump, It's like, you want to be a gay ass black nigga and like be gay and have blonde hair and like just fucking support the Jews. But he never caves. So I support him because I not support what he believes, but I support a real man who's like
Doubling down.
He doubles down.
Trump's going down with the
But
ship.
it's
He's
not what
going down with
anybody
Israel.
expected, though.
No.
Well,
we don't want it. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate what Trump's doing. Trump's a bitch.
Well,
think he
someone
lost
named
some
Nicholas
support.
J. Fuentes did expect this, and he did predict this. And unfortunately, the Trump coalition didn't listen to him. If we had listened to him and we had applied pressure when it actually mattered before the election, when you actually have power and you have a say and you could actually control the direction of the movement, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess right now. But everyone cast him aside. They said he was a Democrat. You're a paid Kamala Harris supporter. And seems like every single thing he said was going to happen.
Well, it
he
seems like
predicted, and it came
Well,
true.
it's gotten worse. It's not only happening, now it's worse. Now it is war in Iran, increasing debt. None of the promises are made, promises kept. That's the slogan of CPAC. It was plastered all over the walls, propaganda. Nobody there actually believes it, though. And Trump is just doubling down on lies that are sending him into basically being going down as one of the worst presidents in history, one of the biggest failures, unfortunately. Negative 17% approval rating, it came out today.
Yeah,
which
actually,
is
is that overall net 29 to 39% approval rating? And like, I'm going to be completely honest.
Negative 17 today.
Yeah, it's
Well,
negative
17 in terms of net, in terms of like down from last week.
Lowest in history.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yes,
is
at
what
one
he's saying.
point.
He's
But what I'm
no-
saying is overall, it's also like a net, and polling is not real. But also, I'm going to say this, like, I have ex-girlfriends from junior high who I pull higher with. Okay, the Trump pulls with his own base. All right, and I killed their parents. I'm joking, by the way.
In
I'm
Minecraft,
joking. No, I'm
everybody-
joking. I'm just saying, like, I know people that like there are girls who like have boyfriends in maximum security prison who like killed 10 people who have a higher approval rating than Trump right now.
My
Listen,
bad.
listen to what he said. Listen to this. So this is kind of crazy here, okay? This is kind of crazy. Also, someone said, "What a religion is Elijah today?" I'm sorry, I'm not Sneeko. I don't change every day. I'm the same person
We are
every day.
Orthodox.
We are Orthodox. We are Orthodox
Or
and
Catholic.
Until the
or
end.
Catholic.
Jesus is king. Christ is Lord.
Christ
That's
is king.
right.
Christ is
king.
Lord.
And I'm sorry. Last time I heard, yes, the shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept, but also Jesus laughed too. He was a human. So have a bit of humor here. Listen to what Trump said with his luscious blonde hair. People said Milo maxing. How about Trump maxing? Exactly.
Is this
new Trump?
the Passover video?
Listen to this. Just listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is new.
He did a big Passover video.
This is
today,
new.
too.
Yeah, well, this is the Easter lunch event at the White House. This is on Sunday. This is new for us. Listen to this.
But seriously, if you didn't have me, if you had some different type of a president, you wouldn't have Israel. I know you're big Israel fans. Frankly, evangelicals and Christians, just Christians, I think they like Israel more than Jewish people like Israel, if you want to know the truth. It's really true. I get so many coming up, but I don't know when that started. It did start not thousands of years ago, I can tell you. It started. But the love for Israel is great. You wouldn't have Israel, and you wouldn't have the Middle East either. You would not have. You would have had a nuclear weapon. It started by taking out Soleimani.
Nikki,
Let me tell you something right now. It is like he is campaigning to lose in 26 and 28 and shift all the young Gen Zers and in the future Gen Alpha to the left, to the Democrats. Let me tell you something. Young people do not support Israel. I don't care what fake GOP polls they put out there about Republican youth still support
it's not
Israel.
Generation
That
Zion?
is
I thought
that
it was-
is not true. It's not real in any way, shape, or form. Gen Z, I meet them all the time. People who grew up in evangelical circles and at evangelical churches like myself. They do not support Israel. It's honestly been insane. I've never seen anything like it. People shift so rapidly in just 2-3 years. I grew up at an evangelical megachurch, and at this point, I honestly believe that Zionist evangelical pastors might just get us all killed. They have become so radical in their support for Israel. They are the ones, and I hope people understand this. It is the Zionist evangelical megachurch pastors that are in Trump's ear telling him that he is the new Cyprus. He is the new King Darius. He has been sent from God to bring about Armageddon, to bring about the second coming of Jesus Christ, to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque and rebuild the third temple. And what I want my Protestant friends to understand, I grew up as a Protestant. I was once one of you. The end times, it is the age of desolation. It is billions of people dying. Read Revelations. It is the gnashing of teeth. It is weeping and desperation. It is not good. We do not have the control to bring about revelations. It is not upon us to usher in Armageddon. That is for Jesus Christ and God alone. They determine, they decide when he is coming, when the second coming is going to happen. These evangelical pastors, they are betraying our people, and they are going to bring about destruction and death basically upon their own delusion.
That's their goal, isn't it? They're using the Jews as a catalyst to bring forth the
Bring us all up.
Revelation times. You know, that's that seems to be their objective. They're the main character, and the Jews are the side character that are meant to usher in revelations.
Yeah, anybody with a
And it's
brain
like,
knows this.
why are they doing that?
And it's their
What
last.
is that?
They know the dates,
What
and
are
they know
you
it's their
doing?
last chance to attack everybody. That's why all this lawfare has been coming down, is because they know the timing. They follow numerology. Like today's 33 days into the Iran war, and what do we get? We get rockets launching. We get these attacks on Lebanon. Lebanon gets annexed. They know that the time is fast approaching, and that's why Trump is doubling down, because they're essentially, this is their last chance.
Okay,
They're
but
pulling
check this
all
out.
the
So on the
stops.
good news, before we quiet down, everybody.
Relax,
My bad.
relax.
Got fired up. My bad.
Quiet down. Shh, 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 shh. Please, quiet. Everyone, quiet. Listen, on a joke. So Trump had his evangelical Paula White. Everyone knows about that. Come and
Our
speak
favorite.
over him, and she said that he's basically Jesus Christ, which is kind of crazy.
She compared
Listen
him to
this.
Christ.
But the truth of it is, is you are here because of God and because of you.
These people are insane.
And I just wanted to share this thought and pray over President Trump. Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership, great transformation requires great sacrifice. And Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to.
Look,
It's
Nikki,
more like
yeah.
she should be comparing him to Judas rather than Christ.
Facts.
Because he took the 30 pieces of silver from Miriam Adelson, Peter Thiel, the Israel lobby.
Well, I'll go to Nikki real fast.
Didn't he-
Wait,
he may have converted to Judaism.
By the way, guys, this is a pilot, so real fast, pull when you're on that screen, we're gonna create some triggers, by the way, some notes for Brian who watches this. When we go to Thor split, should take the watermark off. Someone also said, how much has Elijah spent on
Yeah, we gotta
on
create the
studios this year?
trigger. Honestly,
Honestly, we spent $0 on the studio. This is all my old studio equipment that we spent here. But honestly, it is expensive. So if you guys want to send super chats or whatever, the thing is, we are like betting on the markets with this show ahead of schedule. Like this is like an early in. In fact, we're actually going with. Are you guys coming on Friday with that millionaire guy? No.
Yeah.
Is it Friday?
It's Friday.
He's not. He's
That's
We'll
leaving
discuss.
tomorrow.
Okay. What I was
Nikki,
gonna
are you
say is
there?
like
Well, we secured it.
If it's Friday, I'll be
investors
there.
are betting early now.
Perfect.
Rift is back, and investors are back. Like, wait, can
And
we
better than ever.
Can we? So basically, we had investors, and they bought us all this stuff, and then they gave it all to us because
love them.
Francis Moon. That's we'll leave it there.
Exactly.
Because the moon was Francis one night.
Good night,
So
Francis
good
Moon.
night, Francis Moon.
But
but no,
to
but I was gonna say, but on the side note is that I don't like the state of the world when it comes to Christians and women. And I want to clarify this. It's like people are like, okay, well, like they're Christians. You can't attack them. They're Christians. It's like, no, they're actually apostates and they're Pharisees.
heretics.
They're heretics.
Yep.
And it's like with
Blasphemers.
women. When Dana White was like beating his wife, of course I'd condemn in Las Vegas. But I will say, he didn't go to jail because everyone was like, well, she's kind of a bitch. Of course, I condemn for the courts. I hate violence towards women. But what I was going to say is like, we have a problem going on where we all are virtuous as men and we agree that women should not be beaten. They should not be hit. You shouldn't touch them. But then they give women these rights that are not natural. They're court-bound rights. So they're like, women can take half your stuff. They can kidnap your children. Supreme Court of Florida, anyways. But they can do a lot of things. Wait, they can take your job. There's quotas for women.
They can
did
become
it- they did it
priests
to Ye.
now.
Yeah, but I'm saying
They're
they were
priests.
priests, the Archbishop of Canterbury of the Anglican Church.
Didn't St. Paul
And
have
so-
something to say about that?
Yeah, but I'm saying, so
He
the,
had a
the,
lot
the
to say
law
about
the
that.
law
Lot
puts
to
women
say.
in, and they're like, okay, so women have a different role in society, but you got to treat them the same. And you go, look, I don't hate women as God created them, but I hate women as society has made them. That's different. So I don't hate women. I actually love women so much. I want to save them from
Yeah.
becoming what society made them. Same thing with Christianity. It's like, I do not hate Christianity. I just like a God, like I went to a church. This is actually what pushed me towards Orthodox. So by the way, if you've followed some of the stuff online, it's like I'm literally having people online throwing shade at me for decisions I made before I became Orthodox. That's crazy. I literally have people telling me before you became
he's
Orthodox.
a catechumen as well.
Yeah, I'm like just converting for the first. I'm not even officially Orthodox. I'm like converting, and they're like, by the way, 5 years ago you did something crazy. You're going to hell. And you're like, I thought that's what we're telling non-believers.
Yeah, all these people, they're the ones going to hell.
You're going to hell. You're condemning a new convert. Fuck you. But anyways, you go on and
Seriously.
you're like, look, I don't hate Christianity, but like I walk into a church and I went to this Evangelical church in Boca Raton, And
Oh, the mouth of the rat, huh?
yeah, but I went there, and there was a really good old guy, and he was just preaching the Bible, and like I always tell even you, it's like you can get down with some dude just reading the Bible and reading the Bible. It's like morning prayers. He's just like, hey guys, here's what the scripture says, and you go, cool, man. And then I went for 3 weeks, and then I'm not even joking. I go, wow, maybe I was wrong about the Protestant church. Maybe it is really full of God. And then this guy walks up dressed like us. Dude, imagine a priest dressed like us. That's what it is. He comes up, he's like, yo, the Holy Spirit's in this place. Let's get a
These
shout out.
J's were sent by Jesus, bro.
Hell yeah.
These skinny jeans and Jordans were sent by Jesus.
Hell yeah, nigga, Christ is here. And I was like, what is going on? And he's like, let me tell you something. And this is not a joke. He gave a sermon. This is not a joke. He gave a sermon for his Christmas message that wasn't about the Bible. It was literally titled, What About the Man Who Rented the Last Room in Bethlehem? And it was about how Mary and Joseph didn't have a room because there was no room. And it was a message about the man who's not in the Bible who rented the last room, so Jesus didn't have a room. And I go, what is this?
What are we
What
doing?
is going on?
What
is
are
this?
we doing?
What is that? What is that?
Well,
That's the point.
well,
It's the purpose.
even
They're
better
trying to
than
do something
that.
new, which is never good. Everything old is better. Tradition.
Yes.
Go to
Return
Nikki. Nikki
tradition.
has a lip here. Go to
There,
Nikki.
there's
that's true.
There's a reason why we have 2,000 years of tradition. There's a reason why we have 2,000 years of apostolic succession. Okay? What you see right now with that video we just played, we kind of went off on a tangent. But if anyone remembers, you got Paula White up there saying, God told me that he sent you for this time and this place. Paula White walks around during her megachurch sermons that they broadcast on national TV and says, God is going to deliver you wealth and riches within the next month if you donate to my church right now. Right now, if you send $10 or $50 or maybe $75, $67. She's a 6'7" warrior. If you send us money right now, God is going to bless you. This is not even a joke. This is what she does. And then she also says that God is going to deliver Donald Trump political victories on behalf of Jesus Christ if you donate to my church. This is a scam. First of all, I don't know if I need to reiterate this for our audience right now. Look, this is straight out of the New Testament, okay?
Yeah.
This is what Paul said. Women are not supposed to lead the church. I'm sorry. That's what it says, and there's a reason for that. Because there is natural,
supposed to be quiet.
there is natural hierarchy in life, okay? There just is.
They're not supposed to be
There
leaders
is
anyway.
You have to
God the
convert.
Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. There is, well, I know y'all are Orthodox, but there's Peter, and then there is his
Dude, this is
Well,
not a
if you're
religious
gonna- if
show.
you're gonna be
It's
Christian-
not a
Then
religious show.
There is
gotta
the
be
husband.
apostolic.
There is the
It's not a
husband.
religious show.
This
It
is the
doesn't
church
matter.
of
There's
Rift
the
TV. This is the
husband,
church of
it
Rift.
is
And
now.
then the wife, and then the
So-
children.
Dude,
There's
stop.
hierarchy.
Hallelujah.
This is a Mormon show. Okay?
Basically,
Kai
we all
Clips.
need
This is
to
a Jewish-
worship Paula
this is a
White.
Jewish
This is a
channel.
Mormon
It's a Jewish show. Okay, all right. Get off this topic. I'm moving on. All right.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. I'm not. We already had a Sarah stock on this channel before. Okay, let's not do that.
Hey, I'm still a sexual patriot, bro.
I am too.
Whoops.
But here's the deal. No, it's fine. You actually, by the way, you should be randomly putting those up while people are talking. Like if he's on a rank, just put it up so people can find his ad.
Who? Elijah Schaefer?
No, just anyone.
Anybody.
At Elijah
Do you guys know that's the
Schaefer.com?
original? I had that downloaded. That's the original name key that Blaze made for me. So, anyways,
This one?
LFG.
That one, yeah, that's the original one from the show. And but I
out to Glenn
changed,
Beck.
which I should do. Change Elijah Schaefer to gold with the translucent on it. But they keep threatening to, dude. By the way, do you guys? We'll look at it in a second. I wanted some interesting stuff. So Netanyahu, by the way, said that he started the war with Iran. Listen to this.
And this is the guarantee for our future. We are working on transforming Israel into a super nation in the region and globally. And we were able to do so thanks to our soldiers and our captains and all those who fought and those who died. And of course, thanks to your solidarity and your steadfastness. And this is the guarantee.
All right, so he said that they basically started the war. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. It's not a big
They
deal.
started the war to create a greater Israel. Why? You know, when they tell you who they are, listen to them.
Yep.
He's telling us exactly what his objectives are to create a greater Israel. That means invading his neighbors.
Wait, I
It's
thought that was an
Lebanon.
anti-Semitic
Lebanon can't
conspiracy
return.
theory.
No, 800,000
Lebanon's
Lebanese
getting
can't return.
invaded right
10%.
now.
I thought
10%
that-
can't return.
10%
You know that,
of
right?
Lebanon?
10% of Lebanon has been captured and
Guess who's going to
repatriated.
occupy those homes?
Jews.
That's right.
Do they wear small hats?
So we're creating a greater Israel. What does that give us as Americans?
Well, it doesn't. Here's the point.
Is there any argument for that at all?
No, but listen, I want to address. Can you go to us on a 4 split here? On get us a 4 split.
4 splits.
So listen, I want to say this. I think that obviously, dear Alexis Wilkins, I condemn anti-Semitism.
Country
like every other guy.
Sensation, by the way.
Country music star.
Country music star that
Beautiful,
no one
amazing
knows
voice.
about.
$5 million lawsuit. Very active.
Crazy.
Very active.
Bullshit.
It's like STDs in the gay community. He was like, you're bound to catch a stray. When you're dealing with the FBI, you get shit. But here's the deal. So, it's very active. And so I have a very Jewish judge and jury. So let's just say this. I love those guys. High interest rates are awesome.
We love everybody.
We love it. But jokes aside, jokes as in people who don't believe me. I genuinely have to say that I have been flabbergasted at a boomer level by the fact that I have been yet to say things are untrue. Now, what's interesting is in my comeback video, I had explained some stuff in my private life, and I had spoken about a journalist who I met that was drunk at AmFest and told me some stuff about Israel. And then he wrote me and he goes, "You lied about me on air. I never said any of that." And I wrote him back very kindly and said, this guy was with Netanyahu. And I was like, "Really? Well, I was sober and you were drunk, and I just told the public what you told me." And if I was very kind about it. I go, if I was wrong and I lied, then I go, it wasn't a lie, it was a misunderstanding. And if you were maybe you were joking. Maybe you were joking with me, right? Maybe you were joking, which people tend to do. I go, then tell me. I said, I have screenshots of this. I go, I'd love to correct it with my audience, because if what I said was false or misleading, this is in text. I go, if it was false or misleading to my audience, please correct me. I'll correct it with my audience. Tell me, made a mistake, or he was joking, or he was messing with me. Fine, I get things wrong like that. I had a trial this morning, and I've had people in my life reaching out to me in the trial, trying to clear the air in their life. Oh, this or that, been ghosting me for a month. And you go, that's very interesting. People get really scared when you expose what's going on in the world. And I'm just telling you, people just lie through their teeth, and they're like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I would never do that. And you go,
yeah,
well, here's the deal. Someone's doing it. Somebody's taking the money from Israel. Somebody's working for the foreign governments. Somebody's working as an operative in our country. Who is that? Well, that's a good question. Well, it might be you. And then what's crazy is it's like I had posted that I've been paid or offered money by the IDF. I posted the video recently. It got re-released, and they were like, "Who posted in favor of the IDF?" I'm like, "Well, CJ Pearson did." And these guys make a lot of money, and they don't really have any talent. And it's kind of like, I look in the world right now today. We're talking about lying or whatever. It's like when you said that Israel created Hamas, it just got leaked in the Tucker files that Israel created Hamas. And people are like, "Oh my gosh, what the hell? Oh my gosh." Meanwhile, that's why I lost my invitation to be a contributor at Sky News, also called as Sky Jews, but also Sky News. I lost my invitation at Newsmax. We're actually going back on OAN. OAN is back to have us on. But
Beautiful.
It was very crazy because I said that Netanyahu, made the tunnels. He funds Hamas more than $35 million a month, dude. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yep.
That's way more than that, dude. They built the hospitals, everything. It's like, dude, Gaza was pretty nice. I'm just gonna say this: all that media is getting in trouble for saying things that are true about what's going on, and getting blacklisted for not agreeing with the narrative.
And then you're vindicated, after time, like ISIS,
Never
they created
matters.
ISIS,
Who
Al
isn't
Qaeda.
getting paid by Israel? There's very few, it seems like.
Not me.
Where's my
Especially in the
7K,
media
bro?
world.
I could
There's
use
very
a
few people
7K
taking
check
their
right
money.
now.
Yeah, let's get the money. Israel.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Shout
it's
out to the
ridiculous.
big Yahoo. I could really use
Shout
that
out to
7K.
Benjamin Netanyahu. We love them. We love him.
If you
a
send
great
me
guy.
my Mossad honeypot, I might kiss the wall.
Someone
okay?
made an argument that he's one of the great men of the century.
I
Do you guys
disagree.
agree with that?
I disagree.
Yeah, he's Winston
objectively-
Churchill.
No, he was going to get killed. He was going to get killed in his own house, and Joe Biden was about to let it happen, and they basically used blackmail to stop him from getting killed. Netanyahu
Well, he
specifically.
got away
He
with
got
the genocide.
Barely.
He got
Okay,
away with
wait,
it.
but topics are topics. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this, but Dan Bongino got into a fight with Thomas Massey on X. Very funny stuff. One of the best things about this is that Dan Bongino posted some timestamps about what was going on with him and Massey.
Right.
And Thomas Massey's like, my guy, I don't remember talking to you about these types of things at these times. You're posting these at times. Check this out. X community notes came out. Masty was like, what is going on with these timestamps? You're showing that you spoke to me. And the timestamps say, timestamp discrepancy is explained by time zone differences. Representative Massey's Eastern Time Zone, Kentucky screenshot show calls at 8 a.m., 7:36 p.m., aligning with 3 p.m. and 2:36 a.m. Israel Standard Time on Gina's device. So the FBI
make
director,
this shit up.
the FBI director had his phone set to Israeli Standard Time.
Yeah.
That's
wonder
crazy.
I wonder why.
Our friend Kash Patel had the Israel flag in his bio.
That's
on his,
right.
Spider Cash.
Was it LinkedIn or
Telegram?
Telegram.
Spider Cash. Is he a sexual
It was the
patriot?
first-
Go
it
to
was-
Split.
Who
Go to
did we
Split,
elect
'cause-
Trump to run again? What country? Was it either Israel?
It was the first flag on his
USA.
profile.
The
No, it's
United
ridiculous.
States of Israel.
What is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Well,
Epstein Empire.
All right, next thing. Let me bring this up here. All right, something else I wanted to bring up here is, oh my gosh. Okay, let me just bring this up. So I kind of want to transition here for a moment. So I'm going to end the Iran thing with this clip here. People are stupid. They're retarded. They need God's help.
Yeah.
People are talking a lot about the Strait of Hormuz. But what about the gays of Hormuz?
Yeah.
Isn't it a little bit homophobic that we're so focused on the Straits of Hormuz and not the gays of Hormuz?
Yes, I agree. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why do you think they're willing to leave the gays of Hormuz behind?
I think it's just historically, gays have always been very discriminated against, which is wrong on so many levels.
Even in war.
Yeah, even in war, it just takes more reform in government, obviously, and then also educating society.
I just feel like if we're gonna go in there, we can't leave the gay people behind.
Right,
I don't think we should go in there at all, but if we're going to, the gays of Hormuz, we could turn it into Fire Island.
For sure.
Isn't it a little bit homophobic that we're
Yeah, that's an average resident of.
People are saying this is not live. Well, it is live, actually. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying it's pre-recorded.
We
This
are
is a
live, you
show.
guys.
This is a
We
live show,
could not get the
people.
studio working, actually. We're not that good and talented to do this
The
pre-recorded.
Goyim are going.
The
And,
Goyim
like-
are crashing out.
And I'm not even worried. I'm like, I have such a long-term plan for the show. I have started things from the ground up. And
Well,
people
that
are like,
must be
"What
a
are you doing?"
good sign that they think it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, it
right?
must look good.
They
Yeah,
think
it
we're
must
that
look
great.
good.
This is AI. This is all AI, actually.
Let's see.
I am not a real person.
This is AI.
This
Nikki's
is
AI.
Benjamin Netanyahu with AI
8981.
technology.
You are retarded. Okay, let's
We
respond
all
to the clip
died.
here.
Well, and a lot of shows are just going to be
Iranian
me ranting about shit with Georgie, and we're going to go really deep into topics.
Mm.
It's just like right now, the conversation is very bleak because it's taken me a while to get involved back into politics. Basically, to mention this with the Strait of Hormuz is like, there was this homosexual guy, which is about half of politics, and he's Mexican, and he's not blue, so he's the other one. But one of the
Not gay.
Blue is one of
we
us.
got like quite harassed by this guy who says he's a journalist, and he's at CPAC. I don't remember his name, but because he has an obscure publication, but he's a very
Ortiz? Is that his name? Was
is
that
his name
it?
Ortiz?
I don't know.
Are you talking
I
about the
say
guy that we
Martinez.
I don't
basically
know.
kicked out?
Well, was it?
I know it
okay.
wasn't a heritage
One of them
American
was
name.
one of those was Martinez.
Okay.
Was the FBI informant?
Oh,
There are a
no.
lot of Hispanics working for like weird people.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Weird correlation there.
Yeah, I like Hispanics sometimes, but basically, it's
No, they're
very
awful.
weird because you had this Hispanic guy approach us at CPAC, and he was using filming glasses.
Metaglasses,
And
yeah.
typically, in public spaces, as a journalist, you don't use metaglasses. You actually just like you approach and you
Have like an
identify
actual
yourself.
camera or something.
And you say, "Can I film you?" And you usually talk. But we this sort of like new era of like tabloid individuals, and it made the media, I guess, a little bit, maybe a little bit. But he was like asking me about my children, about my penis. It was very weird stuff. Reminds me of like a conversation with Nikki on a regular Monday. But
Every other day.
But for the most part, it was weird. And at CPAC, there was an FBI informant that was filming us, and he identified himself to the group after I, pointed him out. He claimed he was with people at the event. They asked him. They called the people. They said he's not with us, and that's what informants do, And he works with Matthew Tierman, who just served James O'Keefe with a warrant for domestic violence.
And he said he wanted to kill James O'Keefe.
Yeah, what a
on
weirdo!
camera.
What a weirdo! This is becoming a weird clusterfuck of information now that we're getting into, where I actually don't really know what's happening. All I know is that every time I identify this FBI informant getting kicked out, and then one of my old interns, who by the way, his name's Jaden McNeil, I caught him looking at gay porn on my couch. My wife caught him actually. Wow. Jaden McNeil got caught looking in basketball shorts, jerking off to gay porn on my couch. I had a gay roommate too, and they talked a lot at night. I'm not gonna say much, but they did go into the room together. It was very weird. So Jaden McNeil has a weird gay past. Got a gay past. It's a black guy too, but it's okay. Yeah, I didn't know my roommate was gay at the time. I didn't know why Jaden wanted to live there, but he was into the gay guy, and he would watch. There was this guy across the street that jerk off. He was an OnlyFans guy, and he would watch him. It was very weird. Wow. But my ex-wife caught him jerking off to gay porn, and I walked out. I was like, what the fuck is this? So the dude has problems, and he's very closeted, very, 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 it's unfortunate. Be free, man. Just be gay, bro.
Just
be gay,
bro.
do crimes. Be gay, do crimes.
Just be gay.
No one's judging you, bro. You got a lot in there. You're like 87 pounds, 27-inch waist, and hooked up with my black roommate. Good for you. But I wasn't judging him at the time, but he released something about me apparently having sex with some other woman or something like that. And I just think that, like, that's kind of where we've gotten down to, is you tell people that he works for Jewish individuals, by the way. He's a Jewish he's a Jewish
trader.
operative.
He's a trader.
Well, he's a Jewish operative. He works for Jewish people. He works with Milo and other Jewish
Is that the
FBI
guy I had an
informants.
altercation with? That guy?
No, that's Tony Ortiz, who also works for Jewish individuals. These are Jewish
Fat,
homosexuals.
brown guy.
Well, they're Jewish homosexuals.
They have infinite
total
resources.
By the way, I fired Jaden McNeil because I caught him jerking off to gay porn. That's why he doesn't work with me, because I didn't want a homosexual dude that watched gay porn living in my house. It was very weird. Very, very homosexual guy.
Mongo.
And then he like goes on air in his shitty apartment.
Sexual
He's like,
patriot.
Talk shit. It's like, what a fucking loser.
That's not a sexual.
That's not a sexual patriot.
Sexual patriot.
No.
But good for him.
I'm with you.
Good for him. By the way, I have witnesses.
Debatable.
I have witnesses that saw him watching gay porn, and it was gross. Dude needs to understand boundaries, right? You don't do that shit
So
in like
focused
a home. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want that shit. These are the people who are against us. They're very weird. They're very strange. They accuse us of what they're doing, and it's always odd to me that fat Mexican guy, Jaden, the Martinez guy, or whatever his name is, Diaz, they're always like washed up, very bad physiognomy, very, very
Homosexual.
weak, very poor. They're very poor, and I'm not against
Sweaty
poor.
for some reason.
Sweaty. They
Very
wear
sweaty all
basketball
the time.
shorts, no underwear. Like to go to Costco. Very Indian coded, and it's very sad to me that we end up with these kind of people in our lives, and they don't go away. They sit around like cancer, like they're like breast cancer or something. It's like you're literally breast cancer takes out women's boobs. That's not good. No. They're anti-titty, And so it's like, I don't like breast cancer. Fuck. You remember the I Love Boobies bracelets? You guys remember those? No?
Yeah, of course.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it was like everyone's like, I love them. Fuck that. We got to get like a I Love America like mentality that's just like, look, I don't hate you. I just like America, and America is not Jewish. America is not gay porn on the couch.
It's time for
America's
people
not
to
this.
respect that.
It's always
you
the
have to
freaks.
just respect it. We're not against you. You just have to respect that we're American. We love America. We love our religion, our culture. We're trying to save it.
Well,
This
if you
is a
notice, it's,
Christian
the,
country.
You're in our country.
it's
You're in our
always the
country.
people that are homosexual, fruity, and they can be basically manipulated with blackmail because, if Elijah saw it happening, it probably was more than just him who knew.
I don't judge him.
But these people use it against them, and then now you work for us. Now you work for, because everybody else on that team is gay. Like when I was in jail, there's like a gang, okay, and what happens is all the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, okay, the BDs. If they find out that somebody's gay and they're getting railed in the bathroom, okay, they will ostracize you from the gang, and then you go join what's called the OK gang, which there's an OK gang in politics. It's called the Israel Lobby. Okay, you can read a book about it. And essentially, the OK gang is all the ex-gang members who got kicked out for being homosexual. And that's essentially what we need to do in the right wing, is that we need to kick out all the homosexuals, and we cannot tolerate them. We cannot have Lady MAGA in the same coalition as Donald Trump. That doesn't make sense. I thought he was the straight president. That's what I was signing up for when I, originally was on the Trump train, far off of that. But essentially, that's what we're dealing with. That's our enemy, and that's why we're going to win. It's the same reason they stand no chance.
Do you know what's weird? Lady MAGA approached me in Ben in CPAC, and I don't know. His name's Ryan. Ryan. Also known as Goliath. In the, But
Niche
Ryan,
reference.
But Ryan was like talking about. It was really weird. He's like, "Hey, good to see you." I was like, "Do we know each other?" Okay, hello. Of course we don't. But whatever. But Ryan was like, "Not yet." Hey,
Allegedly.
What's up? What's
You're
that
never
one? What's that
beating the
one? What's that
allegations,
one
bro.
Navy SEAL who's always talking about trannies on X? He's like very famous. He took out like Osama bin Laden, but he likes transgenders.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm
The
talking about?
ginger guy?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Steve will do it.
O'Neal
bottom
or
of
something?
F-150.
Yeah.
O'Neal's his last name?
Yeah. He's like, I took out Osama bin Laden, but how'd I take him out? It's between me and God. And you're like, oh my gosh. No, but,
I think that's fake news.
But Ryan,
I do too.
Yeah, all right. It is. But Ryan was like, people like us. I was like, who the
People
fuck is
like
us?
us.
But he's like, he's saying that his nephews were deployed to Iran, and like, the Jews have like destroyed things. Now we got drag queens against Jews. That's a serious allegation.
Oh yeah,
man.
she's totally anti-Semitic and
She-
she's racist.
Oh!
Or he.
Bro cooked himself
Oh, no,
live.
it's over.
Put him back in jail. Dear FBI, arrest this man, please.
Arrest this man.
Put Elijah in
He's
jail
right
with
here.
me.
But not for saying she, just for his skin color,
Put
please.
Lady Maga and Elijah in the same cell, and whoever comes out alive.
Put him in his skin. And he's darker than a blimp.
Lady MAGA was in my replies on Twitter. It was like, great to
Oh
see
my
you.
gosh, you're disgusting.
I was just giving a
was
little
in your
shout
DM,
out.
or he
I
was
was
in your
giving,
What'd you
not
say?
DMs, just in my replies. I just gave a little CPAC 2026 recap. I said lots of interesting faces I've seen here. Lady MAGA on one hand, then you got Josh Hammer crying a river about basically everything, and then Lady MAGA
Switch to him?
slid in.
What'd you guys think of CPAC?
Slid in the replies like I was trying to give it a shout out. But you know what? I mean, you're against the Israel lobby. Just take off the makeup and the dress, brother. Come to Rome.
Come to Jesus Christ.
Come to Jesus Christ. We
some
will
way.
make you a true patriot. Okay. I can't exactly call you a sexual patriot. You might be the wrong kind of sexual patriot, but we'll convert you over.
The
okay?
straights.
The straights.
All right, let me bring over something real fast. He said, "What do you think about CPAC?" I want to play something for you here that I think is really important. Don't put it on the screen yet because I go back to my bookmarks. But one thing I noticed that I thought was pretty interesting was what did I think about CPAC? It's a good question.
Yeah, we all
and
were there.
What I thought about this was the fact that we've got some stuff going on in our country. And I want to bring up El Salvador. I met with the Australian and El Salvadoran delegation there. I'll probably get back to Australia soon. So this is El Salvador. People don't know how cool it is, how nice
That's
it is
beautiful.
there. Oh, it's beautiful.
Look at that.
And I want to show you this. The El Salvador adopted a fascist government, okay, which is very important, a fascist government. And sorry, but I want to clarify to them, I don't think you're a fascist. I want to just, because whenever I go there, they get mad, they get pissed at me for saying that on my show. They do watch.
We can't get banned from any more
No, we're not
countries.
getting banned from any more countries. No, but El Salvador is great. They're not fascist. They're just, when I say fascist, they're common sense rule and law. And I know this is a bit of a long video. It's gonna be a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna go full screen. But I've hung out with Bukele's family, and I one thing I think that's really crazy is that Bukele deserted the presidential palace and gave it to the people and lives in a normal house. Now we meet in the presidential
true?
palace. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Patriot.
Yeah, he lives in a normal
Base.
2-story
It's a
house,
beautiful
like a
palace.
Frisco house.
Yeah.
And it belongs to the people and the bourgeois. But then they have days where they let the proletariat come in, and they changed the whole country. And they did this in the matter of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Look at how they changed this. Watch this go full screen. I want to show you what we could do in America in 3 years in our city centers. This is what you could do to change America. Watch this.
El Palacio Nacional de El Salvador, una joya arquitectónica e ícono del centro histórico de nuestra capital. Aunque ha sufrido muchos daños en las últimas décadas, hemos trabajado para darle nueva vida y convertirlo en un lugar donde los salvadoreños podamos seguir escribiendo nuestra historia. El palacio fue construido en 1866. Funcionó como sede del gobierno hasta 1889, cuando un incendio lo destruyó. Su reconstrucción comenzó en 1905 y terminó en 1911. Su diseño pertenece al estilo neoclásico e incorpora elementos del Renacimiento francés e italiano. Tiene 2 niveles y 105 salas, cada una con diferentes características, incluyendo 4 salones principales donde ocurrieron eventos históricos y han tenido diferentes cambios. Por ejemplo, en 1930, las paredes perdieron su color original y fueron pintadas de verde cuando el Ministerio de Defensa ocupó el edificio. Años después, la guerra provocó el abandono de muchos bienes culturales, incluido el palacio. La situación empeoró con el terremoto del 86.
Hasta ahora, ningún gobierno se había preocupado por conservar adecuadamente este edificio. Por el contrario, hicieron reparaciones que solo empeoraron su condición. Habían espacios en pésimo estado, paredes con grietas, pintura descascarada, grafiti, verjas oxidadas y hasta filtraciones en los techos.
Hoy, con el inicio de un nuevo capítulo en la historia del país, la revitalización del Palacio Nacional es una realidad. Hemos realizado muchas obras para reforzar su estructura y proteger su integridad. De esta forma, los salvadoreños tendrán acceso a un legado histórico y cultural que les fue negado por años. Gran parte del piso de los pasillos había sufrido daños por la falta de mantenimiento. Algunas áreas incluso se habían rellenado solo con cemento. A los pisos se les aplicó un tratamiento especial de pulido y abrillantado, preservando los más de 40 diseños que adornan todo el palacio. El piso de los pasillos fue reemplazado con mármol de alta calidad proveniente de las canteras de Turquía. Para el diseño, replicamos el mismo patrón que ha adornado la entrada principal por más de 100 años. Restauramos el enchapado de mármol en los vestíbulos principales y mejoramos los acabados de los pasamanos internos. Impermeabilizamos el techo y dimos mantenimiento a los cimientos, tuberías, columnas y sistema eléctrico. También instalamos aire acondicionado para el correcto funcionamiento del edificio. Sustituimos luminarias en pasillos y salones principales e instalamos nuevos candelabros de alta calidad, hechos con la técnica del cristal de Murano, una tradición centenaria que tiene sus raíces en el periodo romano y bizantino. Los baños originales habían sido destruidos y reemplazados por otros que no seguían el diseño del palacio. Además, estaban en mal estado. Ahora, hemos construido baños que sí respetan el diseño del palacio. Reparamos el sistema hidráulico e instalamos consolas y lavabos de mármol importados desde Italia. Las puertas de madera han sido restauradas y lucen elegantes elementos decorativos con molduras de tallado clásico. El Salón Rojo tiene puertas con piezas ornamentales que simbolizan los departamentos del país. Durante años sin mantenimiento, estas puertas acumularon manchas y suciedad, pero ahora han sido pulidas y restauradas con un tratamiento especial.
All right, we're coming back.
En cada salón hay algo interesante para descubrir.
All right. That was, dude, by the way, if you guys want to know something, one thing we're going to try to do in the future is instead of doing the BRB video for 5 minutes, we're going to just find a video for you guys to watch for 5 minutes because we're into that. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking a very simple question. Why did I do this to my hair? Now, the question that you should be asking yourself is, why did I ever undye my hair? I am naturally platinum blonde. I don't know. Do people not know that I'm a natural blonde? I'm not. This is not a joke, by the way. My eyebrows are dyed, and my facial hair is dyed. I am naturally blonde. You can look at my arm. I'm a hairy guy, but I have blonde hair. And it's just easier to maintain blonde because it's just easier to maintain. I'm not this platinum, but I'm my eyebrows and my facial hair are. And I have to dye my hair and stuff to just look like Nikki. But I'm Germanic, and I naturally have very blonde hair. And so by just bleaching it, all I do is I match my hair on my forehead to the hair on my eyes. And, you know, I'm a greasy ass motherfucker. Shout out to the greasies in the chat. But I was going to say, like, I just match it to my eyebrows because I have a mixed phenotype, right? Like a different type of... Okay. All right. We gotta exit. What I was gonna say is I actually match it. So half the time I match my eyebrows to the back of my hair and new hair, and then so I'm actually naturally very blonde, very Aryan. In fact, my sons, I have 2 sons. We'll talk about it on Locals, by the way. I just want to say this real fast. I'm going to be reunited with my children very soon.
Let's
And
go.
I'll leave it at that.
Based.
It's very based.
Christ is king.
Every father should be in their children's lives, and anybody who seeks to take the father out of the children's lives is from hell.
Truth.
Not in my case, of course, but I would say it's demonic. I think it's demonic to take. And I think
It's the greatest evil.
So,
Because
do you want to hear something interesting?
No, it's really fucked up.
Well, you want to hear something interesting? Let me bring it to news. You know what happened recently? So Australia started getting increased net migration from Japan, okay, and China.
Japan, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so what started happening is these guys started marrying these Japanese girls, and everyone knows, I mean,
Is that based?
Listen, some Japanese girls got, they look good, Now, I'm not into them. I'm not into race mixing. I'm not into interracial marriage, but a lot of people that I'm around do it. And, that's what the kids are into these days. Be a white nationalist and fucking Asian.
Alyssa Lou. Alyssa Lou.
No, that was
love
breeding.
her.
That was genetic engineering.
I do love her.
No, listen. So what happened is apparently in Japan, kidnapping is legal. When you get a divorce, whoever can steal the kids first gets to keep them, and you can cut them off from the parent entirely with no litigation. What? No ability to proceed. So 82.
The mother or father, it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
It's like
Whoever they were living with and was providing for them at the time or the support. So it could be either. And there's no litigation claim. Now, 82 different Australians married Japanese, and there was 82 citizens that were kidnapped. In Australia went, wait a second. This just happened by the 60 Minutes. They went, wait a second. This is why the courts are my favorite. They went, wait a second. No. It is not in the best interest of the children to have parents kidnap the children. Now, everyone thought I was capping on X when I said my kids were kidnapped. For legal reasons,
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
whole
say
story is true.
It's very true.
It sounds crazy. Everyone thinks that initially, but when you really hear it and you get all the context, it's all true.
I have not seen my kids in almost 4 months, and they were taken from me. They were taken wrongfully, and the court agreed today. Let's get a round of applause. The court agreed today. Today, the Supreme Court of Florida agreed that my children were wrongfully removed from my life.
That's right. We won, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you,
Victory.
Internet.
Complete
Fuck
victory.
you. Complete
You guys were
vindication.
wrong,
You guys
as
were
usual.
wrong. Oh, he said he kidnapped this and that. Nope. The court said, what the fuck is this bitch doing? I didn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would never say that. I'd never call her a bitch. But I'll say this.
In Minecraft.
But the court said, get your ass back here and bring those kids back to their dad because this is wrong. And so I'm getting vindicated in the courts because I go, no, my kids were taken by evil people who sought to divest them of having a parent. And my brother-in-law, Eli McGarvey, actually was like, in the dossier, he's like, I'll be their dad. He should never be around them because he's just an evil little meanie. Meanwhile, he was gay and was in love with me and trying to fuck me. My brother-in-law, very weird stuff.
Yeah.
But so
all true, too.
It's all true. This is very true stuff.
Verified.
Sold out to FBI.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'll release the court documents soon, and you'll see that I'm
We'll have
winning.
a whole expose.
We'll have a whole
about it.
expose on this. I'm just covering this briefly because of the Australia thing. So we just contacted Australia, and we're like, hey, the court was like, yo, you can't steal someone's kids and kidnap them to Australia. Now, we won't use the word kidnap because they have a 30-day notice to return the children. But it was like, you can't do this. So we're winning now. I'm winning now. I officially have the lead in the court. I did my due diligence. And Australia realized, they go, there's a lot of effed up stuff going in the world right now with our kids. And I think that Western people don't realize how blessed we are because the Japanese people, when Australia said, hey, you can't steal our citizens, they went, what? Now we can. Yeah. We're Japanese. So everyone's like, oh, sushi, onaseyo, anime. And it's like, dude, these people were murdering our troops like 75 years ago. They're not the same as us. They don't think the same as us. They're an advanced culture, but Japanese don't think like us. They're not Westerners.
That tells you Japan, other than Western countries, is one of the best countries in the world. So that just tells you the difference between Western civilization and even some of these other civilizations that are some of the best in the world. It's quite scary, honestly. I did not know that about Japan, that they have that type of culture. You can just kidnap the kids away. But praise God, we have Jesus Christ on our side, and you are going to win this. We are going to have your back, watch out for you. The kids are coming back, man.
Well, call me radical, but I think, the court even allowing something like this to have to go through a whole litigation is insane. The legal system in America is insane. I've been put through it. You've been put through it. And most people don't realize.
Tell me about how we were going to talk a little bit here about the American litigation system. That's why this show's different than other people. People will be like, let's talk about the news. We go through real shit. We're real ass niggas going hard as fuck.
We're just real humans.
We're living it.
We're living it.
humans.
But we're explaining to you. Listen, guys, single fathers out there, you know how vicious these women are and how evil their families are. And if they had a choice, they would divest you. If the government had a choice, you'd have no rights. If these state governments had rights, you'd have no free speech, nothing. And it's like we have to have checks and balances, but it's us who puts them in. I read a dossier. My brother-in-law was like, he should not be allowed to see his children because he's a meanie poopy pants. And you go, well, I'm sorry, but being a meanie poopy pants doesn't really divest me from being a domicile authority in my children's lives. You saw Randy Fine tweet out the other day, I'm really glad that I fought against, white supremacists posting flyers and you get 5 years in prison. It's like, well, posting flyers doesn't negate the First Amendment. I mean, the flyers might be nasty, but, whatever, BLM posted as much of their own shit. We have to start checking these people. It comes from your personal life to your professional life to your national civic duty. You have to challenge people in court. Mm-hmm. And that's a real promise. That's a real litigation. Cause I'm here on the internet. I'm watching people mock me. People are like, you abused your wife. There's no accusations of abuse. I don't have one accusation of abuse in my record. Oh, you cheat on your own with a bunch of women. Really? Well, that's not in the records. You slept with a married woman. That's not I never slept with a married woman. I don't know what you're talking about. Besides my wife, what are you talking about? And then here's the deal. You go, well, I'll mock him, but what happens here? Then the government comes in. First, it's my wife, and you go, you didn't speak up because you go, well, he deserves it. Then the government starts telling you things like, hey, well, Nikki doesn't deserve free speech because Nikki's a racist. And you go, is he really? I want to be friends with him if he is. And I'm just going, what is that? But no, but you go, really? And you have to realize from civic, personal, and national, you have to be careful because Blue, I think we're going to do a new segment here. Guys, this is very serious. Mm-hmm. Blue Jackson is an individual. He was a private citizen up until recently. He's right here to my left. And despite being jacked and a sexual patriot, and his DMs are open, ladies, he also was just let out of jail. And despite being a minority, it's not what you think. Tell us about it, brother.
Well, let me just say, this is a insanely true. It rings so true. And, everybody who's attacked you for it, I don't really understand it. I'm not going to lie. And it's a lot of people who are on our side. And I've been blown away because people assume the media is telling the truth, but they don't know the facts. They don't know the facts. And you don't get a defense in the public eye because you have to defend yourself privately in the lawsuit. So your hands are tied. It's really a situation where people should be supporting somebody who's getting sued by the FBI, by the way, Kash Patel, who we elected Trump. You even said you voted for Trump because it was to prevent the lawfare from happening, and it's gotten worse. Mm-hmm. It's just getting worse. So we have like a list. It's like James O'Keefe, Enrique Tarrio, Catholics for Catholics, which is Steve Bannon's organization, me, myself, just a normal, groiper. People haven't even heard my name, and Elijah Schaffer. There's a whole lineup now, and this is what I'm saying. This is their last hurrah. I'm just a normal patriot, like you said. Groiper. And I never thought something like this would happen to me, but essentially my story is very simple. My story is very simple. So I went on Steve Bannon the same time that Nikki went on Ben Shapiro at AmFest, and essentially what happened was I went on the show and spoke about Palm Beach County, spoke about Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. I'm careful to even say his name. I don't want to get in trouble again. I don't want to be put in jail again. But you could put the pieces together. I stated facts about Epstein and the connection to Bannon and the connection to the island, as we all know, where they all went. And the next day, or very recently after, the article in The Independent came out that got 1 million views overnight. The headline was, Trump has become the deep state. They filed a warrant for my arrest And formally, as of today, no charges have been officially filed. They put a stipulation on my bond. 7 days I spent in jail with no official charge, no official reasoning. And in Florida, I'm being told this is all legal, which, I'm going through the legal process and I can't speak about facts of the case, but that's the situation as it stands. And as I look at it,
Do you have a GoFundMe?
I do.
Plug it.
It's givesendgo.com/forced reset. That's the URL.
Forced reset?
Forced reset.
Go support a groiper.
Please.
Appreciate it.
He is fighting a battle. It's the first case of its kind. They're coming after him hard.
Yeah.
Support him.
I want to say something. I want to say
Support
something
him.
really interesting.
Because it could be you tomorrow.
Listen,
It
I
can be you
have
tomorrow.
some more support. I have some people around me who are, I'm going to tell you guys honestly, legal fees are very expensive. In actuality, I've spent over $170K in the last about 4 months on legal fees just to stay out of jail and to stay out of bullshit. And it's going to be a lot more than that. It's going to be about $303,000 to continue here. This is not fun, and it's nasty. Lawfare is meant to destroy, corrupt, and destroy you. Not even from the bankruptcy. It's going to destroy you because of who you are. Because you can't do anything fun. You can't get meat. You can't eat anything. They just take your money, and it costs very little money to file lawfare. And a lot of money to defend yourself from it.
Many
This
men
guy
are
needs
dealing
support.
with this.
Many men are
many
dealing with
men.
lawfare. How many men out there in the chat? Any men out here divorced know what an ex is like?
50%.
They are not nice. They are the courts are in their favor and they are very rude.
And even
they will
worse if
suck
you're
a dick
rich.
on a yacht and mock you. But it is what it is.
I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to be attacked by these people because what's the alternative, right? If the devil's attacking you, you're going in the right direction. That's what I say. But yeah,
one
you're
thing-
right.
one thing
I've dropped
always-
over 50K and I'm halfway through. I'm facing down another
Brother,
100,000.
You're like 10% through, dude.
Yeah, it's
Don't tell him that, bro.
Dude.
Bro, it's almost over.
One thing I always remind
go
people,
rip the M3 tonight.
especially to
joyride that.
the Christian audience out there, one thing I like to remind people is that the third test of Jesus Christ after he spent 40 days and 40 nights starving in the desert is the devil takes him
Put
to
him full screen.
the highest top of the highest mountain in the world, and he shows Jesus a vision of all the kingdoms of the earth. And he says, if you will kneel before me, bow down before me, I will give you control over all the kingdoms of the earth. Well, if you are a Christian, if you're a true Christian, then you believe the Bible. You believe what the Bible says. What does that mean? What's the inference there? If the devil can deliver 2,000 years ago all the kingdoms of the earth to Jesus' control, then what does that mean for today? In an interconnected world where I can make a call to Hong Kong, China, Japan right now,
Tel
Aviv, what does that mean about his control of the earth right now? He has direct control. He has dominion over the kingdoms of the earth. What is he going to do? What is his strategy if he does have this control? It is to attack all those who oppose his control, his power, and his ambitions for the earth. That is why you have strategic attacks against Blue Jackson. That's why you have these strategic political attacks against Elijah Schaffer. That's why America First Patriots who are fighting for our nation, Catholic organizations like Catholics for Catholics, or the nuns who have fought against forced funding of contraceptives and abortion have been attacked by the federal government. That's why you see these attacks happening, because the devil is a monster who seeks to steal, kill, and devour, and its number one targets are those who fight for the kingdom of Christ. You don't have to be perfect. Some of us are sexual patriots out here. That's okay.
We're a dying breed, too.
That's okay.
There's so few of us, it seems like.
Yeah.
Listen.
But we're
the
growing
devil,
every
But
year.
we're standing up for truth, and that's why they are coming after us. That's why they hate us.
Check this
Yeah,
out.
2025 was big for us.
The
Give
devil
Blue
is
the
a
last
deceiver.
comment. I'd like to switch to the alien question here for a second with the space launch. So go ahead.
These people who rule the government are aliens, okay? Here's the situation, okay? The devil is a deceiver, right? People don't know. I had groypers, America First Patriots, who knew me personally, who reached out and said that I was stupid, basically, for owning a firearm. They said they immediately went to blame me. They don't know that today a press release came out in CBS News releasing what was inside of my phone to CBS. Which is, that's totally insane. If you know anything about the legal system, how is that possible? That's something that I'm looking into right now. But that's what's going on. They're invading a private citizen. You know, you think maybe you're safe. I hope it never happens to someone that you love. Because before you cast judgment and before you throw a stone at me, look at yourself. Do you have any holes in your life? Yeah. Huh? Are you a perfect person?
Let the first among you without sin throw the first
But it's not
stone.
even that. It's like, do you have anything the government could throw at you? Anything.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're not even, don't even be in the movement because you're not worth being around.
No, you're not. Listen to this real fast. So let's talk about aliens for a moment here. So before we talk about this, Matt Gaetz, I know Matt well.
Sexual patriot.
He is a sexual patriot.
That's a fact.
The fact that he married a girl named Ginger. That's
Really?
crazy.
W. Matt Gaetz, man, where is he at? Is he still? He's still. Does he? He has his own show now.
I got smashed with that nigga. So listen, I love Matt. Matt's a sexual patriot. I slept in his house on election night.
Nice.
We'll leave it there. But I love Matt.
Trump would have kicked him out anyway.
No, Matt it was a plea deal to get out.
Well,
I found out
because he's
later.
on the right side.
No, it was a plea deal. He appointed him because he got out of a jurisdictional investigation through it, and they let him out due to loyalty. Be loyal until death. In fact, we've lost a few friends recently by sidestepping MAGA and got some good articles we'll go over. But jokes aside, listen to this. Go full screen.
Yep.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating.
My goodness, Elijah.
What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there. And what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics? Like this?
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee, which I joined, and the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just the hard materials; it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
What the fuck is he talking about?
All right.
Let's be honest.
All right, so let's talk about this. Okay, so it's actually kind of important. I have some things to say. So Matt Gaetz is talking about a human hybrid program. Let's talk in the chat here. So my dad, laryngitis dad, regularly talks about. Can you throw me a nicotine patch, please? Throw me just thank you.
A little synergy.
Alp, if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, Alp, where are you at?
Alp sponsor that porn star that's hot. What's her name?
Alp?
Yeah, what's her name? The hottie, the white nationalist one.
Oh, dude, I was in the cell with the guy who stole the Alp packages.
Stop, just for a second. What's her name? Dasha. Thank you.
Dasha?
Yeah.
She's sponsored by Alp?
Yeah.
We love Dasha.
Yeah. She's not really a porn star, but she kind of is. Anyways,
we wish she was.
Sorry, my bad. I was trying to identify.
Minecraft.
Dasha's a baddie, but We should have her on the show. We should have her replace Nikki, actually. We need a baddie on the show. Some Mean Girls.
Nikki, huh?
No, just
The
joking.
brown guy deciding who's replaced. Sir, do you know your place?
Honestly, just put her on. I'll just watch.
You literally have the guy who I'm like, hey man, are you gonna guest host Fridays and take over? And you're like, hey everyone, we'll replace Nikki. Hey buddy, I want to tell you how life works. Okay, my gardener is not gonna get my water when they cut off the supplies. Okay, just know that.
Hey, Blue's one of us, bro.
You're gonna have to dig a well when the time comes. But listen, I was in the.
Hey, by the way, the people that fell for the LARP tonight, like, put your glasses back on. It's the funniest shit. Put them back on. The people that fall for this stuff and think it's real is,
bro.
Here, swap.
Think what's real?
Let's try these.
Let's do it.
Try these. There you go.
My cellmate was an Israeli Jew who was the one who hijacked the Alp tanker in the Middle East, actually. So,
Really?
yeah, he was in the cell with me. He had the little hat.
That's how Blue got out, actually. That's
There
why
was
he's
two people
free.
who escaped when I was in there, actually. Not joking. They set the alarms. It was pretty hilarious.
How long
was like,
before
what the
they were cut?
It was like the whole day. It was really annoying. Nobody could sleep.
You know what's
Based.
funny?
Shawshank
This was
Redemption.
going to be this was going to be a full episode, no
True
real
story.
episode. But we decided to make it a pilot. And here's the deal. So if you guys kind of want to know what's going on here, I'm getting vindicated in court. But last night I went to bed at 6:15 a.m. Had to be back at. I was working on litigation at 6:15. Had to be at court at 7:30. Then go to court. Then go in. And then I am telling you, look, I'm just going to embrace it now. Okay, I am a sexual patriot. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm not giving into the sexual patriotism. It's just like I'm an American patriot. Doesn't mean I want to die for Iran, right? Just because I'm patriotic and I'm willing to die does not mean I'm dying every day, right? So I care about my country and I care about what is this upside down? What is this?
I'm telling you, that it's hard to stick on. Real quick, I'll define sexual patriotism. We don't push degeneracy. We say that term to take the power away from those who hate us. If you've ever done anything in your entire life, they want to blackmail you with your past. It doesn't matter even if you've done nothing, really. You know, if you were just like in high school,
But when you're black,
made
it's
out
called
with
white
a
male?
chick. Yeah, white male, black male. I don't know. Maybe it changes based upon your Aryanness. But
White man.
look, they want to blackmail you with anything, dude. You can make out with a chick in the 8th grade, and they're gonna say, you know, you were insane. So
You have a podcast
we
with a bunch
say-
of guys just kiss each other afterwards, and they start accusing you of being gay. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we had socks on.
Sorry, we're just
God
sexual
forbid.
patriots.
I'm sorry. I thought Sinners won Academy Awards. I thought we were all sinners.
We're taking it back. You're not going to blackmail us, okay? Like, if you attack us, we'll just double down. We'll just double the fuck down. We're not asking for your permission.
But that's a good rant. Is what I was gonna say. Is with the joke is like, you know, I've been maligned and slandered very specifically, and one thing I noticed is this: I am so confident that we are going to win that I'm sitting with people and they're like, you know, as a guy, just be confident. Because you can sit down with people worth $180 million and they'll be like, come over to my house. And you're like, listen, I have 3 or, you know, I think across platforms we have like 1,500 viewers, maybe max. We have like 1,500 people watching on our platforms right now. Not a lot of people. But it's like, I go, dude, we're not actually, like, Rift even started with the intention of not, like, how do I get investors? I go, there's no market for this. Listen, this is actually crazy. I raised $6.5 million, but didn't get it. But I raised $6.5 million. But I raised at least $1 million. I told people, I go, look, there's a market here that doesn't exist. It's like that Seinfeld episode where they make the episode about starting Seinfeld, and they go, what's your show about? He goes, it's about nothing. He goes, so you got a show about nothing? He goes, you got a show about nothing. You know, it's like nothing. We're just friends, and we talk about nothing. It's like, so there's a show about nothing. He goes, yeah. He goes, people are going to watch a show about nothing. It's like, they do. They did, and it was a very successful show. I go, we're going to create a show that's essentially Tim Pool, Boomer Slop style show that is just people who are honest about the world. And we actually talk about Jews and stuff, but we're not sitting here, we're ranting. And I like, by the way, shout out to Stu Peters, great guy, but I'm like, we're not going to be sitting here going, you know, Stu Peters, we're going to tell the truth. There's no market for it. There's no market for it. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I believe that I was right in my predictions. And I believe there's a lot of people out there, young men and old men alike, that you feel like God cannot use you because you feel dirty. And I found out that Gen Z counts the days since they looked at porn. What is that? That's weird. They have this thing called streaks.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
is
that's
You don't
that?
have a
crazy.
streak, bro?
0 days.
We're all Gen Z here, except for Elijah, right?
That's crazy.
We are all
What's
Gen
your
Z
streak?
except for Boomer over
Why
here.
are
What did that? What? Tell me what that is. We're counting.
uncountable.
Wait, so you're trying not to look at porn, so you think about it every day, and when you don't look at it, that's weird.
Well, it's a little
Psychological
performative.
torture.
It's weird.
It's,
What is that?
Yeah, it's a little performative.
It's very performative.
You know,
Look, I mean,
Gen
just
Z
don't
virtue
watch it.
signals a
Just
little.
don't watch it. Gen Z's virtue signaling.
We
a little
virtue
bit.
Everybody
signal.
looks at porn sometimes. I'm sorry, it's just true. It's like, I'm not-
Hey,
I
not everybody. But
never in my life, sir.
I'll say this: Gen Z was not protected. The Boomer class failed us in every conceivable way. They
true.
had a perfect Christian. Perfect is a certain word, but they had a great Christian nation with a strong moral background. It was what 90% white when they were born. Now Gen Z grows up as minorities in their own homeland, and they are bombarded with
BBC.
pornography at the age of 10 years old.
No,
And who owns
at
all
the
the
age
porn
of 10 years
sites?
old, they are hit with pornography. So
No.
who are you to cast stones at these young men when you did nothing to protect them?
Did we
Basically, we need to
Yeah.
stand up for our youth. Gen Alpha, if you think about it, it's only getting worse. When we were growing up, it was just, you scroll on Twitter, you'll find some BS, and your friend
You have
tells
to
you
free
you should look
yourself.
up porn, and then it takes you to XXX videos. Nowadays, Gen Gen Alpha is being hit at the age of 8, 9 years old with TikTok videos that are softcore porn. These little boys are being sent to destruction, and no one is protecting them. And if you stand up and say we should ban porn, I was at CPAC the other day, and I had a debate with this. He was like 45 years old, some jacked guy who's like, I'm a former Marine. Libertarian, by the way, G word libertarian. Sorry. But he's like, we can't ban pornography. That's free speech. We are at a crossroads right now. Are you going to fight for the soul of our nation? Are you going to sell out our youth? Or are you going to save their souls? Are you going to save their souls? They are being led to the path of destruction. They are being bombarded with something that a young child, a young boy, is not capable of fighting against. A little boy, an 8-year-old boy, I believe the average age of pornography for boys is now 9 years old. That's the first age they see pornography in Gen Alpha. A 9-year-old boy is not ready to fight that weapon. He is a child. That's not even the puberty age yet. And yet they are being hit with hardcore, devastating pornography that literally the older generations could not imagine. They don't understand what these children are being hit with. These libertarians need to literally shut the fuck up for the rest of their lives, okay? Please never open your mouth again. We have to ban it. We're not asking questions anymore. And, we make jokes about it, but I'm totally serious about this. That does not lie under the First Amendment. The First Amendment does not mean we would destroy our youth.
But you can want to ban things that you struggle with. For instance, Georgie likes to ban homosexuality. And I think
I would like to, yeah. I would like to
but
ban
here's the
it.
deal. No. So I'll tell you this. Here's what I was going to say. So learning from divorce court, which is interesting, is like they'll say things to you. They'll be like, well, they'll say things like to a guy. This is what there's only two people who remind you of your past, which is what? Women and the devil. That's it. It's only two people.
Facts.
The boys forgive
Same
you tomorrow.
person.
You could be like blacked out drunk and like end up with like tranny midgets, and your guys the next day are like, hey, bro. God has second chances. New day, new morning. Become a new man. Not saying that we did that, but here's the deal. So like, I walk around and I don't get the internet. I'm like, hey, I grew up in LA. I'm a degenerate. I'm open about it. I'm becoming less of a I don't think orthodoxy is about saying I'm not a degenerate. You're saying I am, so I need Christ. I need Christ daily.
True.
Because I wake up as a degenerate. I think once you cross lines, you can't go back. I think once you do hallucinogens, you can never not do them. And once you tap in the spirit world and you do DMT and shrooms and LSD, you'll never not be a guy who's seen the spirit world. But you go, I used to be into you guys know this. I was into witchcraft, new age stuff. That's how I started. I was an agnostic and I used to do seances and weird shit. And I was into demons and I liked that shit. And I was into that. And I used to, sleep around. I used to be a sexual patriot. I still am, but I used to be also too. I used to have sex and do drugs. I still do. No, I'm joking. I actually don't. But you can't change my personality. I have a personality of a guy who's done drugs and had sex, and that's fine. I've seen what I've seen, and I can't undo it. I'm never going to be a square. I'm not going to be Kip from fucking Napoleon Dynamite. I'm like Uncle Rico, right? So at the same time, it's like, I look at my sons, and they are like, I have a noticer, one of our interns has he made a custom wing half shirt for his baby. He's like 3 months old, and it's the cutest little thing. And it's like, I told him he went to jail, right? He's a double felon, went to jail, can't own a firearm. And I looked him in the face and said, dude, do you ever look at your kid in the face and you go, I don't want my son to be me?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I go, yeah. You don't want your son to be you. You want your son to grow up to be a better man than you were.
Exactly.
And I go, because here's the why. I got born into the Jewish world. Like, I got born into the internet world where like Girls Gone Wild commercials were on HBO. And then, you just go out and you would just, I've told people, I'm not gonna get into it tonight, but I got violated, whatever, in life. And you go out and you're young and you go search things and bad things happen to you. I don't want my sons to find that.
Yeah.
I want to protect my kids. My number one goal in life, my only goal in life is to protect my sons from the same people who ruined my life.
Yeah.
And that includes systemic down to personal. And I'm saying this, I don't like cancel culture in the world today because cancel culture says you've done bad things, you've been around bad people, you've had bad things happen to you, then you can't speak on it. I'd say you can speak on it more. And that's why there was a big pastor. This is not a joke, by the way. This is not my life. I'm not a friend. It's actually a real pastor. Look this up. He spoke in the UK. It's not a joke. And there was this guy that he hooked up with when he was like 6. He was 18. The guy was 16. And he put billboards around the UK, like, this guy raped me or whatever. He's not a real pastor. And this is a crazy story. He's an evangelical pastor or whatever. And I don't know I don't think it's rape in the UK. I think it's 16. I think that's the age of consent. I don't agree with that. I think 18 is the age of consent. I just want to clarify. I'm from California. 18 is good with me. But there was this crazy video I watched recently, and the guy was like, dude, I've changed. And I think, laws aside, he didn't break any laws. It turned out he didn't break any laws. But it's like, can someone not change? Can people not have transformation? Like, people say things all the time. Like, and I'm going to say this in defense of Sarah Stalker people. People are like, this guy, he was 18 and he had sex with a 16-year-old guy. It's gay. It's not productive. We don't like that. But he changed his life. Do we not give people the opportunity to change their life and be a different person? I think we should allow them to do that. I don't think we should hold people to their instances. And that's why I don't want to work in the gay liberal media. It's not freedom. Yeah. It's like they hold you, like Matt Lauer, he like sent some dildos, some hoes. Hoes love dildos. Good job, buddy. But at the same time, it's like, it's a joke. But my point is, I'm saying, the liberals have no redemption. And I think that the right wing needs to have a redemption arc to let people in who want redemption. And I'm going to say this. You are not safe. Nick Fuentes has not had sex. He's not done drugs or drank. And someone still came to murder him at his house and got killed. Yeah. Like, he's a morally correct individual. Yeah, he says fuck and pussy and faggot and nigger or whatever. It's not a big deal. But at the same time, it's like, you deserve to die for your speech. Well, they say you do. James O'Keefe got threatened to be killed. People say every day, I deserve what I've got. What did I deserve? What did I do? I'm winning in court. I'm proving you that I'm right. But I think that we had to bring back a very based Christianity to the platforms of like, dude, you don't be performative. Wake up every day and say, look, I am a sinner. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Actually, it's the other hand. But it's like, have mercy on me, a sinner. And you say that not because you're trying to be performative. It's because you wake up every day and you're like, nobody talks about this on shows. You wake up every day, it's a new start, but you feel like shit every day. You got seed oils and random shit in your body. You wake up, you're like, oh, fuck, it's another day. And you wake up like, fuck me. And you have no idea what's going on. You wake up out of bed, your brain's clouded. You have no idea. Maybe you're hungover. Maybe you're just on SSRIs. Maybe your wife's bitching at you. Maybe your kids are stressing you out. Maybe you have financial problems.
Maybe the
and you
FBI
wake up,
is tracking
FBI's, traking, putting things down your throat. But the reality is, how do you even wear these? I don't know. But you go down and you go, we want to offer a story of redemption for people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main point of the show is just like, hey, you can be a normal guy, be redeemed by the blood of the cross and the word of testimony. I think that's very important.
As long as
the truth changes people.
As long as you are America first and you believe in the American identity and you believe that America should be a Christian nation, there is a place for you in this movement. A lot of people will try to excommunicate you needlessly, but there is a place for you in this movement. We all have a place.
As long as you're not gay or Jewish, you have redemption.
Through Christ, you have redemption.
Yeah.
And if you're
Jews
a Christian,
can be
if you're
redeemed.
genuine about your
Jews
faith,
can be redeemed.
you
That's
can
crazy.
be redeemed.
You
Yeah.
can't stay a Jew though. You have to become Christian.
A lot of the
course.
people coming after everybody, they have many sins that it's easy to hide behind anonymous profiles, things like that. That seems to be where a lot of the hate comes from. like, well, what are these people doing in their lives? Why are they anonymous to begin with? You know, if they didn't want to be found out.
Well, here I'm going to ask.
And we love our anon accounts. It's just that don't come after the people who are fighting.
I'm not
the
saying
fight
all
with
of
their
them.
face out there. I know.
Yeah,
And but
I
just
was
to your
one.
point earlier, we have grown up in the boomer created world.
So true.
You created this world, this environment where pornography is pervasive, and an 8-year-old child literally can't even escape it. So now these kids have gone through it. They weren't protected. There's literally no other option. They were exposed to it. They had to fight it off, whether they're still struggling with it today or whether they've been able to beat it. They had to go through it. They had to deal with it. So now, coming on the other side of things, they understand what must be done. They understand what happens to a young boy, to a young child who's infected
let's ask
by
the
this.
voice chat. So we're on Discord. By the way, if you join Locals, ElijahSchaefer.locals.com, you get an invite to our private group chat. We got Ari Jensen and Lazarus here. You guys are live on air in the voice chat. You guys join the voice chat now. You can get on here. Any thoughts on that, about corruption and what's going on? Do you guys have any opinions? You guys are live on air.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this generation, especially Gen Z, it's really hard to kind of get a foot in the game. You're starting 12 feet, 20 feet back from where everyone else started, and they're just saying, go. Everyone I've ever met, either 9, 10, or 11, is talking about porn. I remember in the elementary school yards making dick jokes, and it's like, these kids are kids.
Yeah.
And if it was bad when I was a kid, I can only imagine now with Gen Alpha, with how bad this economy is, how bad everything has grown. It almost feels hopeless. And that's why we're to the point where we're at now.
That's why we don't make apologies.
Yeah, we all got
just
radicalized.
have to take it over.
In 2025, everyone got radicalized for the same reasons.
You know what's disgusting? Women. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because women are the ones that are saying, we need men to be better. We need men to be doing this. They're the ones that are starting the OnlyFans, okay? And then essentially it's like what we love about Elijah Schaefer, who's our guy, he exposed the trad LARP with women. They're all OnlyFans hoes. They all are. All of them are. The trad ones are worse than anybody. And that's why you need to respect what he did. And every day you wake up, you should be thanking Elijah Schaefer, because he exposed that there's no difference between any of these women. They're all judgmental. They all are causing the same temptation that they're then blaming on men. And essentially, it's more important than the Jewish question, because they're destroying the society by destroying young men from their youth.
Well, it's like Eve taking the forbidden fruit. It's like the Jew is offering the forbidden fruit, and Eve is taking it as usual.
What about Channel B? We got some girls in here too. Why don't you weigh in here for a second? The first woman on the new show. What's up?
Well, what specifically do you want my opinion on?
Oh, just like the fact that I feel like youth are corrupt. You're a mom, right?
That's confidential.
All right. Well, just okay. But
Well,
you understand,
now it's
like,
not.
like we don't want our kids to grow up with the knowledge we have. Like, we don't want women to like the show.
True.
I mean, I think there's some good things that women need to learn from the show. Like, it's obviously not tolerated, a lot of the things that women do, and they complain that things need to get better. But then when men try to make things better, they like inherently have to like double down and make it worse.
What do you think? Anyone else in the chat want to weigh in?
I make my wife watch the show so she gets a little more humbled.
Let's go.
Based.
Patriot.
The struggles of a young male are real, and women are not going to be able to comprehend that too well.
Women aren't capable of honesty.
Turns it to them.
That's the problem. If women were honest, nobody would have a problem. In fact, it's actually true, and this is a truth nuke. So they're going to kill me for saying this, but this is actually why men prefer sluts. Tell me if I'm wrong, because they're honest. At least the other ones are judgmental, and then they do the same exact thing.
Men like sluts. Well, dude, that's a male hypergamy. Like it's like we have our own way. We don't want to marry sluts. We don't want to be with sluts. But men do love the fact that there's some girls out there who are honest, because you can marry a virgin from not even Western culture and she'll still try to steal your kids from you. It's very sad what's going on here.
Yeah, they're easily corrupt by our society. Even if they come in trad, they're still going to be
In fact, it's worse. If they're a virgin, they have a higher ego because they think that they're preserving themselves, so they are worth more. You know, they think that they're gold, and that's
society made them feel equal, and that's a big issue.
Yeah,
you know, at least politically and socially. You know, they say that there's no more men to lead. Well, you know, you're not really exactly asking for it, are you?
It's the end times. It is over. It's truly over.
Go ahead in the chat.
No, I mean, it's just that's funny. I know it is in the end times. Insanity's going nuts. Freaking can't find any good godly women out there. Corrupted by this social media. Pornography is destroying us. We can't even have a fucking family. We can't even buy groceries. It's just all crumbling around us. But with Christ, we will not be defeated, and we just need to rise up and stay together and watch out for our boys.
Amen.
So
amen.
Incels for life.
All right, last thoughts on the chat, and then I'm going to hang up here. Anyone?
We want to hear from you.
Anyone else? Last call.
Going once, going twice. Anyone?
All right, next topic.
Next topic.
Next topic. We got a lot of shit to get into here.
Honestly, and on the topic of women, can we talk about this Amy Coney Barrett situation?
Yeah, we will. Can you hit the BRB, see if that works? We'll be right back in about 5 or 6 minutes for the second
we'll
half
see
of the
if
show.
it works here.
Give us 5.
All right.
All right, mute us, please. Thank you. All right. I actually kind of laughed because Goliath was like, you know, hey, I can see you're tired in your eyes. And here's the deal. I'm on 3 hours of sleep in 72 hours, nigga. Don't even give me shit. I am literally dying inside, okay? I got 1 hour and 15 minutes and a 2-hour nap. Yeah, I am dying, Goliath. I'm dead inside. I'm sorry. I haven't seen my kids in 4 months, and guess what? Netanyahu's the president of the United States. It's 2026, and my friends are deployed overseas. Okay?
Shout out Goliath.
Shout out Goliath.
At Goliath.
At Goliath is one of my favorite
Literally
people in the
at
whole world.
Goliath.
All right, let's look at some things here. Okay, so all right, let's start with the economy for a second. This is actually kind of crazy. I found this going to be kind of weird. So there was a community note sent on this, which I always find to be very odd when a high-profile person puts a community note on something. So Warren Buffett was talking to the CIA News, also known as NBC. Listen to this.
Well, let's talk about that. The market has come down substantially.
Not substantially.
Well,
we have a little issue here.
Hit reset. Hit right-click reset on the channel there.
Yeah, let's see here.
Go to the main end. Yeah, hit reset. Go back to it.
We're working on it, guys. Don't worry about it.
No.
No?
You might have to reconnect to it.
All right.
Did the computer shut off?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's okay. We can talk for a second.
Okay, Nikki Rudd.
We're still good. We're still rocking.
Nikki Rudd, you're going to do a dialogue now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do a dialogue right now. Okay, let's talk about the state of MAGA right now. Okay, and these are falling off my face, by the way, so we will see if they fit back on in a second. Let's talk about the state of MAGA. We were promised no new wars. We were promised a protectionist tariff policy. We were promised mass deportations, and we were promised a political victory. On every single one of the fronts I just mentioned, we have been utterly failed. There's no question about that. They have betrayed the MAGA in every single way. So now let's look at who is standing still amongst the MAGA coalition. You have Ben Shapiro. You have Josh Hammer. You have Mark Levin, and then all the sycophants who are receiving the 7K. How does this represent the 2016 MAGA Trump revolution in any way, shape, or form? Please tell me. If you have that answer, please describe to me right now how this represents the 2015-2016 Trump MAGA revolution against the Uniparty. If you remember, Donald Trump was not just hated by the Democratic Party. Donald Trump was hated by the Republican Party. Honestly, it might have been the Republican Party that attacked him more than the liberal media. They wanted to wipe him out. And why is that? Because he was on stage and on Twitter saying, Marco Rubio is controlled by the Adelsons. Ted Cruz is a liar. I am not owned. I am not controlled. I am going to fight for you. I am going to be your fighter in the White House. And in 2024, we have seen a total reversal. In 2016, 60 to 70% of Trump's donors were small-time donors, people like me and you. In 2024, that number flipped. 70% of Trump donors were big-time, millionaires and billionaires. What does this mean? It means that we were sold out. Donald Trump was bought and paid for, whether it's the Israel lobby, whether it's big tech, little tech, big agriculture. We were betrayed. And now this administration has sold us out and failed us in every conceivable measure. The only thing they've done is shut down the border, but it's too little too late. 10 million came under Biden. In 4 years, we had 10 million illegal immigrants. The border was supposed to be shut down in 2016. In 2017, January 25th, 2017, the border was immediately supposed to be shut down. That was the purpose of the Trump revolution. Instead, we got record levels of illegal immigration under Trump until 2019, 2020. He finally shut down the border using COVID as one of his excuses. Then as soon as Biden took over, the border wide open. Trump takes back over January 25th, 2025, and he shuts down the border. And then within a year, the mass deportation agenda is shut down, totally betrayed, totally given up. Greg Bovino cast aside. I met him this weekend at CPAC. He's a patriot. He is a real American patriot. What happens with a man like that who wants 100 million deportations? They throw him out. They throw him out and they tell you that you have to accept it, you have to hold your tongue, and you have to vote Republican every single time. Now, I'm not entirely sold on supporting Democrats. I've heard that. I'm not entirely sold on that. But I'm certainly not going to go out there and tell you to vote for a traitor to this nation. An example is John Cornyn. John Cornyn is running in a Senate primary runoff against Ken Paxton. If John Cornyn wins that, I'm going to tell people not to vote for him. I'm going to say he should lose. If John Cornyn is the Texas Republican candidate for Senate, he should lose and the Democrats should win. The Texas and federal GOP spent at least officially $70 million on John Cornyn, someone who wants to take your guns, somebody who supports your ethnic replacement, somebody who voted to convict Trump in 2020 during the election scam.
Right. Well, listen, real quickly, just a couple super chats here. This was a pilot episode, by the way. We were going to cancel tonight because, again, I got 3 hours of sleep and most of us got no sleep. But on the end note, I'm going to read a couple super chats. One of those super chats reminds me that if you're on Locals, join at ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. We have new advertisers, some sponsors coming in the next 30, 45 days, but we're relaunching, basically asking people to just stick along for the ride. Because a lot of the shows are just going to be me ranting about life. And to me, those are the better shows. When Nikki's not around, it's just so much better on the show. But no, jokes aside, I love panel shows, like individual shows. I love guests. I love bad guests. I love it all. It's just like we have so many days to spend together. You know what I mean? That's what the show is like. We have a lot of days to spend together. So whether we have a good show, a bad show, a small show, a big show, a bad guest, good guest, it's all the rest. It's so good. And Nikki and Blue have been awesome. I'm going to give them a chance, each other, to introduce themselves one more time to follow them online. But one of our super chats from Mr. Dissident, let's get a round of applause there. Mr. Dissident, thank you, said, will Trump join the Aryan Brotherhood when the Democrats send him to prison 28? Possibly, actually. That was on Rumble, and on YouTube we had one from Rhino Josh, says, glad to see the show's back. Zionism will die in our lifetime.
Patriot.
We hope so.
We also have one from Doomsday Cracker who sent a meme, which I can't show on the screen right now, of Artemis or somebody in the Greek cultural statue with a blonde haircut, my exact one.
Looks just like you.
Patriot.
Yeah. Well, if you want to join, you can join at ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. Again, we were going to cancel the show. We had, by the way, our breakers broke tonight twice, supporting the power in this room here today. And by power, I mean the testosterone levels through the roof.
Mossad hit it.
A Shaheed drone wrecked our levels here. But in the future, the show's going to be more structured. This was a test run. We have segments, we have guests, we have hard-hitting news. So basically, it'll be about an hour show every night with hard-hitting news, about 45 minutes in an interview. It'll be very, very nice. But we had to get the studio working and figure out how it all connects. It's actually quite complicated, which is why a lot of people, work for mainstream media or they work for people they sell out to. Because you're a young guy, you want to speak, you want to give your, you want to give your voice, you want to talk, and this stuff's expensive and it's a lot to connect, a lot of wires, a lot of planning, a lot of coordination, and so you just go, well, I'll just go talk here or talk there to share with people, and then that comes with strings. They give you the equipment, the backing, and they tell you what you can and can't say. At Rift, we don't tell anyone what they can and can't say. In fact, we've had a few people work for us. We found out we're Jews after the fact.
Boo.
Yeah, not good.
Boo.
Only because of the fact that they should be working for Jews because they can make more money.
That's true.
That's why we say it's not good.
They get hired well.
Yeah, they get hired very well.
We do this for the love of the game. Okay.
Yeah. But jokes aside, I appreciate you guys watching. People, always say the same things. You're on drugs, you're dead, or whatever. And it's like, well, thank God that's not true. And thank God for another day of life. What I got to thank God for is thank God that no matter what people say, as Gavin McGinnis and Alex Jones told me, if you know how to make your own studio, you can never be canceled. So people ask, why was I making a lot of new studios? Like, because I get canceled all the time and I have to recreate a new studio, new sponsors, and just keep going because the truth will set you free. Shout out to the people who didn't give up on our cause and the people who are reinvesting.
Patriots.
Because we're never going away now. It's like they did all they could do. Join me today is Blue Jackson. You can follow him on X there as well. You can take the locals off. There you go at Based. What was that?
Based Wealth.
based
Because
wealth.
we're making money. You know, Nick's orders, make money, become rich.
We're
You know,
ascending.
freedom is a beautiful thing, and I think what Elijah's getting at and what he's represented in the right wing is true freedom, a man that is unbridled. And I'm the same way. That's why I stand by him and whoever else is being attacked by the oligarchy. And thank you for having me on. It's been a wonderful show. And Rift is going to do amazing things.
Plug your Twitter.
Flowers said this is fun as hell. I'll
What's
keep
your
watching
ad
you.
again?
My at is
In case people
Based
can't read.
Wealth on Twitter. And if you want to support me, my Patreon/GoFundMe is givesendgo.com/forced-reset. And I encourage you all to enjoy your freedom while you have it.
Support
before the
a
end of the world.
Groiper. He is a Groiper. Support him. He's fighting on the 8th Front War.
Yes.
They're coming after him. It's the first case of its kind. It's really incredible. People aren't giving it enough
We'll
attention.
do a one-on-one interview soon. With
Yeah,
just
we
you
will.
And I, that will it'll be very serious. Today was more just like a dick around and find out.
So we'll have the whole dossier. I mean, I guess CBS News have it, but I haven't even got my own discovery on my case. So, you know, we're going to get it eventually, and we're going to get these guys. We're at war. We've gotten a lot of victories already. So,
Nikki.
thank you.
Thank you, Blue.
Guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for having me here. Elijah, George, everybody else, for setting up Rift and for not backing down. Always double down. Like I said earlier, that's the number one thing I've learned in the past 3 months. This has been a very quick ascendancy, you could say, for myself. Started this in December, but I learned that if I was to back down on my beliefs, I'd be a disgrace to myself and everything I stand for. So we can't make apologies. We can't ask for permission. We have to go hard. We're weighing halves. That's what it is. We don't make apologies for it. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep pushing. You're gonna see me more on Rift. We're gonna make this crazy, you guys. This is gonna take over. I promise
we
you.
are literally going to take packets of Kool-Aid.
We're taking over.
Of Kool-Aid into water, straight sugar to the dome.
Trust.
Baby. Hey, let me
Trust.
tell
We're
you
taking
this.
over real quick.
Last statement.
Follow me on
Follow you.
X, Nikki Rudd X. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Just look up my name, Nikki Rudd.
That's
You'll find
Nikki
it.
Rudd with 2 D's and an X.
Two
Real
Ds.
fast. You know, you guys, I was on a hot mic, and I was like, oh, that person's weird. And I go, who is this? They respond, try again. Just a right-wing Jew who's not so extreme. Saw you at CPAC, bud. Our last engagement in person was there. Why are Jews like this? Why are Jews?
Bro thinks he's so hard, man.
What?
Bro thought he did
thinks he's
something with
he
that.
thinks he's so cool.
Yeah, why are Jews just not like, hey, man, my name's Shlomo Mokenberg? And you're like, okay, cool, nice, Shlomo.
My name is Shabbos Kestenbaum.
Yeah, hey, very cool.
Shabbos Kestenbaum.
Very
Shout out
weird.
Shabbos Kestenbaum liking my past 2 reels. I see you, buddy. I see you, buddy. Shout out
to Jewish women.
Are you
They're beautiful.
supporting us now? Are you like anti-Zionist, bro? Bro, thanks for liking my reels. I really appreciate the support, brother. Come on.
W.
Thank you to all the
W
women who
Shabbos.
support
One
the
struggle.
show. There are great women out there. You just have to find them. I mean, we met a lot of great ladies at CPAC, didn't we, Elijah? Together, it was a beautiful CPAC.
We met
There's
0
some
ladies,
gorgeous
everybody.
women.
We are celibate here.
Great young
I'm
ladies.
celibate.
We are celibate
Young
now.
Groipats. And we love our Groipats. Those are the only good women in the entire world. Is the Groipats. Shout out to
I
them.
don't know.
There's no
we don't want to
Groipats.
encourage them.
We don't
though.
encourage women to exist.
We don't encourage them, but like you exist, so whatever.
They're
buy,
the best
buy
of
the
the
shirts,
bunch.
I guess.
They're the best of the bunch. It's like kind of like
Well, I
the
don't
Jews
know.
who are Christian.
Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. All right, guys. Georgie, sign off.
Yeah, I'm Georgie. You'll see me every day, so you'll get used to it. I don't really have much to say.
You do. But it's very hard to
Sith Lord
speak.
Groiper, Sith Lord Groiper on Twitter. You know, I don't know what I'll do with that. I guess it's an IRL account now. It was an Anon account. I am one of you. Okay, now I'm here. So
Go.
we're fighting for this country. We're fighting for our religion. We are fighting for our identity as Americans, and we're not going to give up. So fuck everybody that has something to say about that.
It's been my problem.
Come on.
From the beginning. Fuck everybody. That's bad.
right.
Anyways, so my name's Elijah Schaefer. Thank you so much for watching another episode. Yeah, a lot of you want to know what's going on. I'm also bulking up right now, which is good. I got pretty skinny in December. And now I'm like just putting on a little bit of, what do we call it? Winter weight.
Winter weight.
Hell yeah.
No, we lean max over
It's
here.
the winter
bro.
arc.
Pre-summer winter weight.
Pre-summer winter weight.
Look, we're gonna look good.
Retta in like 2 weeks.
We're going to be mogging during summertime.
We're gonna mog. I think by the end of April you have to start cutting, so that by like July 1st you're good. Because like June's like a fake summer month.
We
It's
are
like
all
July
on Reddit,
1st is when
True
it starts.
Tide, and
June is the fake summer.
June's the best month.
Because July is White History Month.
Correct.
Did you know that?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
That is true.
According
yeah,
to
July
who?
4th,
According to my name.
Independence Day of America. That's White History Month.
That's true.
We're going to
White
make a new
excellence.
America. We're going
All right,
to
guys. The rest of you guys watching, shout out to
America.
Ben, Australia Talk. Shout out to Goliath.
Goliath. At Goliath on Twitter.
At Goliath on Twitter. At Australian Talk. with
Shout out
Ben
everyone that plays bocce ball on Saturday.
in Australia. Yeah, shout
And
out to
everywhere
watching.
around the world, we're bringing bocce ball back to America.
Yeah, we're going to keep this real. Also, I'd just like to say we are all Jewish. Have a great rest of the week, as always. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.
Amen.